Well, I don't need to tell you guys, gardening is not cheap. So any way that we can save a little bit of money in the garden is an awesome thing to do, especially when it combines using Mother Nature's natural resources. That's why when I'm gardening, I never buy mulch. But what I do is I will get free wood chips delivered to my house. I use a service here in the United States called ChipDrop. GetChipDrop.com, I think, is a website. And what wood chips are, it looks like mulch. It is mulch, except for it hasn't been aged yet. A lot of times we are under the idea that an aged mulch, it looks uniform, it has a certain appeal that people want in their garden. And it's true. The aged mulches do have a uniform look, but it's very expensive. And if they're dyed mulches, they add these chemically derived dyes into our gardens. That's not a good thing. Wood chips, it's what it sounds like. It's trees and limbs that have been freshly chipped by arborists. And when an arborist goes and cuts down a tree and they chip it up, they have a big, huge truck full of these wood chips. And they have to go dump them somewhere. Those dumps charge them money in order to dump that. So a service called ChipDrop was created to link homeowners with these arborists who have these extra wood chips, so that if you sign up on Get ChipDrop, you can have these arborists bring their truckloads full of these wood chips to your garden, and in effect, you're saving the arborists money because they don't have to spend money to dump it, and you're getting all of these wood chips for free. There are a couple of stipulations. You can't choose on how much you want. It's a truckload, that's it. Generally, that can be 15 to 20 yards of wood chips. But if you have somewhere to store 20 yards of mulch, you can use it slowly over time. And even after the course of a year, these wood chips, if you just have them in place, they will become naturally an aged bark mulch. That's all that aged bark mulch is, wood chips that have been allowed to sit for a year and cure. But I use these free wood chips on everything. I use them as a mulch in my flower beds. I also use them on my potted plants as a mulch to keep moisture locked in, to keep those weeds at bay. Now, there definitely will come with some branches mixed in, but who cares? If we can start to change the way that we look at beauty and the way that we look at gardening, who cares if you have a couple of little twigs mixed in with your mulch on your flower beds? You're using one of Mother Nature's best gifts, because as these wood chips break down, they add such wonderful texture and nutrients to your flower beds, to your garden beds, to your shrub borders, to your container plants. There's really nothing quite like it. And there's a lot of research out there. Some people say, oh, you don't want it to use it because it's going to deplete the nitrogen from the soil. And yes, it can when it's mixed into the soil. Now with the Get ChipDrop, you can be specific. You can say hardwoods or softwoods only. Hardwoods are things like oaks and maples, whereas softwoods are things like pines. Hardwoods will retain their texture longer than our softwoods, like our pines, which will break down more quickly. Here I have a pile of softwood pine, and I actually love that it does break down a little bit more quickly, because it's going to integrate into my garden beds more quickly, improving that soil and texture and providing it with more nutrients. I've absolutely heard of neighbors that combine together to get one pile of wood chips, and then they all kind of share them together. Or if you have a little bit more land, a little bit more property, then you can just leave it stationed in one area of your garden, and you will use it over time, I promise you. And if you do a lot of mulching, invest in a 10-tine pitchfork like this. It's the best tool for getting mulch, compost, hay, whatever, from the ground into your wheelbarrow. I'll leave a link to this down in the description below. You're gonna save yourself so much money. It's so much more eco-friendly. And if you're not gonna be the one that's shoveling it, bringing it all over to your garden beds, well, you can just hire your landscapers to use your wood chips as the mulch for that season. I use it both in the spring and in the autumn. For me, I always have a pile of these wood chips because I'm constantly finding ways on how I can use them. In fact, I just made a video on how I use them in my raised bed planters when I'm growing my veggies. You can find the link to that video down in the description below, as well as a link to Get ChipDrop in case you are interested and want to use their service to bring wood chips to your home for free. And I don't have any connection with ChipDrop. I just love the service. I think it's really useful and a really great tool for us gardeners that are trying to be a little bit more ecologically friendly and also trying to save some money. So give it a try, share this video to someone that you think might enjoy the service, because it really is an awesome way to turn one man's trash into another man's treasure. Anyways, thanks for joining me here on Plant Vibrations. I'll catch you soon. Ciao.